Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gympie. Banger episode of the show. We are recording this live in Gympie. Obviously, GympFest 2021 has been cancelled, so RIP GympFest 2021, but RSVP GympFest 2022.
Yep.
We are currently location scouting for the perfect place to hold GympFest. This is how dedicated we are to GympFest 2022. We're here now to start the planning today.
And one thing I've just realized is we are at a park in Gympie. There's traffic behind us. There is a lot of bin chickens running around. Gympie bin chickens. So
heaps of animals.
The lowest of the low of birds. And I realized that there's no way to really prove that we're in Gympie, because I was going to say, well, a local may know this park and maybe able to verify, but as we all know, none of our fans live here.
No, they aren't here.
So is there any way to prove it? Do we need to yell to someone, are we in Gympie, and get them to yell back yes?
I have a way to prove it. Didn't you hear?
There's a grown man on a scooter. There we go.
There you go. There's a bit of evidence.
Yep.
Also, you heard a conversation in the public toilets.
Yep.
If you just tell me about the conversation, I haven't heard it yet.
Well,
maybe this will determine where we are.
I have to go and leave Gympie a bit of an arrival gift.
It's customary.
You had to drop off in the toilet because yesterday we were at the music festival, which was last week's episodes, and how did that end up? That was big.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm asking you because I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was having heaps of fun, and then I started my shift as a babysitter for the end of the night, just to look out after these two. We almost died, I think.
Yeah.
The festival ended. It was great, and then instead we decided the dumbest shit ever. There was like an exit that everyone was to take to jump on buses that would drive you to a safe area to wait for an Uber. We, in our arrogance, decided, well, we have media passes, which aren't VIP, they're just below that. We have media passes. We're not going to get on a bus with the plebs.
With a commoner.
Yeah, we're going to go through the exit that is for staff. And we went through that, now not realizing that exit was for people with cars. And then we just got stranded. I look at my phone to pull up the Uber.
We got in a guy's car, and then we walked down a freeway for about an hour.
An hour down a freeway, and then we hit a freeway roundabout that the middle of it was a construction site. Luke almost dies getting onto the highway that was an oncoming thing, tried to climb a bridge. We had to abandon that. We couldn't get picked up by the Uber because there was a red zone. No Uber driver would come anywhere near. So we had to plan a route to exit the red zone or make the trek back to go to the buses with the plebs, which obviously was not going to happen. So we ended up down a dirt road. A concerned local actually pulled up next to us and was like, "Are you guys okay? Do you know what you're doing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, we're trying to leave the red zone." And he thought, "Fuck, am I in war zone?" Yeah. He didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah, he was confused. You were probably on his property or something. I think we were on someone's property.
I looked at the map, and the road that we were walking down ended with something that was just called the gravel pit.
Yeah.
So he was like, why are these guys walking towards the gravel pit?
The point is, we had free drinks all day and things got out of hand by the end, which means I had spent 24 hours brewing what could only be described as a bit of a Gympie in my belly.
Yeah, in the Nobby Festival episodes, Luke trashed those drinks a lot, but he did also finish them.
Yes, and continued having them for the rest of the night. So I'm over there.
These are awful. Can I have another?
Yeah. I was over there, right? I'm taking a shit. By the way, no lock on the door. I'm just holding the door, mate. This is the lowest of the low. I'm in Gympie doing a post-grog bog, and there's this family waiting. Yeah. And this guy is going, "Oh, fuck me." I don't know I can only hear his voice. He goes, "Fuck me. You blokes need to hurry up. I'm about to snip it off over here."
That's very Gympie.
And I just go, "Oh, sorry, mate, I'll be out in a sec." And he goes, "That's all right." And he's like sucking in fat ones. And then when I went out there, he eventually just ran into the disabled. He had to go.
Yeah.
But and he goes, "Fuck, it's nothing worse." And he wasn't too thrilled about it, but I apologized. And look, I wasn't pleased to be there either. No one was there by choice.
Well, that's the thing. If
there.
You're in Gympie, you're only using the public toilets if it's an emergency.
I was evacuating 24 hours of bad decisions into Gympie, which is a great place to leave them. Bye.
That's why Luke can't remember what happened last night, because he just shit out all of his memories too.
Yeah.
That's how horrific it was in there.
I truly haven't been that intoxicated in about 4 years.
Yeah. Luke when he's drunk is a lot of fun. You're very nice, but you also reach a point where you get really self-conscious about being drunk around me, where you go, man, I must be so annoying right now, and you're not. But you constantly asking if you're annoying is really annoying.
That's annoying.
So that would be my only suggestion to drunk Luke if you ever run into him again.
Yeah.
Just don't be annoying.
Yeah, I'll tell him later.
Yeah.
But yes, it is good to be in Gympie. So Gympfest 2022, this is my first ever time in Gympie.
It is,
We've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
There's all this excitement. And boy, oh boy, you're not kidding. Sorry, Keelan almost threw a drone into our face. You weren't kidding. This place sucks.
Oh yeah, this park is actually lovely.
This is a beautiful park,
but the everything around it is very not good. The one good thing about Gympie, other than this park, is the gun store, because they have a big gun museum.
We drove in. We get to the park, and I go, "So where's the town?" And Mr. Greentex, who is anonymous, but he drove us here. He's a Patreon member of ours.
Yeah,
and,
fellow YouTuber.
I was like, oh, I was like, oh, where's the town? And he goes, no, this is it. You've been through it. And I was like, oh, I saw a gun store. And he goes, yes. Yeah, and there's a Coles.
Yeah, there's guns and like bread, and that's kind of all they have here in Gympie. It's
actually
a cultural...
medieval in the sense that they only sell guns and bread.
Well, they don't sell automatic guns.
There's
it's
a blacksmith,
mostly muskets.
probably.
Yeah, a blacksmith.
Yeah, and like maybe some type of what are they called? What's a horse place?
A farrier.
I was gonna call us. What's the place where you keep horses called?
A stall?
I don't know. Why have I gone blank?
A farrier. A stable.
Stable.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Anyway, it would have been mildly funny if I had have said that.
It's the first podcast from a bird's eye view.
This is the first bird's eye view podcast.
So if you're an audio listener and you're not enjoying the audio, just go watch it.
Careful.
Keelan just flew his drone into a tree.
Keelan's now flying the drone into a tree on purpose because he finds it amusing. How much was that? $900. Jeez, this drone is really concerning me. It doesn't feel safe. And seeing the drone flying above us and then seeing Keelan controlling it via his phone makes me feel a lot more uncomfortable, actually.
And by the way, there are a few people asking us on the previous episodes. We did manage to snag an interview with the June Rats.
Yes.
Very funny boys. We do have to get that approved by a lot of people in the music biz before that goes up.
The Dune Rats may have admitted a few things that they may not want out there publicly to us in the heat of the moment. So we have to send that to their managers.
Yeah, great.
Who I assume is a guy called Damo, but as soon as he clears it, we'll be able to put it out in one of our episodes.
Dude, they were the most Queensland dudes I've ever met. I don't think they're from Queensland.
Yeah.
They were aggressively Australian. But yeah, yesterday was a lot of fun. And I guess let's just start planning for Gympfest. So what are we thinking? Do you reckon, could this be a camping ground?
Well, we've had multiple people approach us at that music festival telling us they're coming to Gympie. And all these people were like, half of them were from Sunshine, the other half were from like Gold Coast and Brisbane.
Yeah.
So like that's a lot of travel already of people committed to coming to Gympie.
Gympie only has 20,000 people living here. So if we bring 1,000 people to Gympie, not from here, we'll actually increase their population by 5%.
That's
over the weekend.
That is a giant percentage point of a population to increase. Man, the gun store is going to be packed.
Yeah.
Do you know there actually will be a line outside the gun museum because of our fans? We were talking about it today.
I don't think
where
we have like a real gun nut.
No, the gun museum is definitely worth checking out because it's absolutely ridiculous. They have photos of John Howard that they've drawn targets over his head because he brought in the gun control laws. And their response to that was, let's have fantasies in our gun store about assassinating John Howard. That'll really change his mind.
That's why he fucking banned them.
Yes, that's
because
not
people
helping.
like you.
Yeah. Oh, why do you want to ban guns? All I'm doing is imagining shooting you.
So, what else do we have to talk about?
So I have here, Keelan and I actually earlier in the week before we left,
yes.
we returned to the warehouse, the original location of Luke and Lewis, the brothel capital of Melbourne, a place where I left my little shoddy warehouse and saw 17 cop cars exhuming a body from a storage unit that had been there for over a decade. That is a true story. That gives you the idea of the vibes. Terrifying guard dogs everywhere. We saw drug deals all the time.
And Russians listening to hardstyle was the main demographic of people who inhabited the warehouse.
More than one conversations where we heard the words, well, oh, that's fine, we'll just get the gun.
Yeah.
Lots of that type of vibe.
Yeah, we used to like just be talking and he would bang on the wall and be like, shut up.
Yes.
And then you'd hear him farting all day.
Yes.
So we'd bang back and be like, shut up. Like when he did a fart. It was a very hostile and toxic environment. So why did you go back?
So, well, the guy that was our neighbor that would always play hardstyle music and fart really loud, like all the time with no shame, the rudest man I've ever met, he has a second-hand Facebook Marketplace Gumtree storage unit store that he runs out of there, which I think is, and I would always hear him like selling terrible shit, scamming people.
HDMI cables of the future.
That's
Still
a quote.
My all-time favorite quote from the warehouse.
HDMI cables are the future. He would rip people off frequently. I would hear him on the phone buying something that he knew was broken and then selling it for triple of the price, promising the guy that it worked.
Yeah. And we used to think, what kind of idiot, what kind of moron would fall for this and buy something?
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, that moron is joining us here on the podcast today in Gympie. Welcome to the show, famous fool, Keelan Ferrari Brown. Who bought an old TV. What did you buy from him?
A CRT TV from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's not even a 90s one.
Yeah, from the early 2000s. One of those really heavy box televisions. So you bought one from him, and you didn't know it was him until he sent you the address, right? And so you still showed up, you bought it, and then you went home, and then you plugged it in, and what happened?
It worked for 2 hours, and then it exploded. The internals exploded. It popped, and then smoke came out the top.
Yeah, so it fucking exploded.
Bought a TV out of a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cartoon television that can't even play cartoons because it blew up. So you reached out to the guy and organized a return.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised that he was happy to give you.
I almost sent him a really aggressive message saying he ripped me off, but instead I went the polite route.
Yeah. So then, Keelan's working at my house and he gets a message and he goes, oh, the guy wants me to pick it up today. Do you want to come? And I said no, but then I thought, got to do it for the bit. Got to do it for the tail. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to come. And it was exactly as I remember it. The place hasn't changed at all. We get there. The guy is...
What did you think was going to happen? Like someone was like, Leo, this place needs to be renovated.
I don't know.
We need to fix this up. Or there's a couple of local Gimpians
A couple of swans coming up, trying to investigate the podcast.
They're going to steal a cable.
They might.
What if they stole a hard drive?
Can you go stop them?
It's possible.
No, can you film them?
Aren't swans notoriously aggressive? They don't really take shit, right? They'll fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, these swans are...
This might be our first real podcast beef we've had with like a rival podcast.
I know. They're coming closer. This is very concerning. But anyway, back to my story. So we're in the warehouse and we go up to the guy. And should we get the camera back on us, Keelan? A lot of filming of the the geese, the swans. Look at all these chickens. That's enough filming of the chickens. Hello. We got to talk about that after this. We get to the warehouse, and the guy, Keelan has told the guy that he used to work there. So I'm expecting like some form of like familiarity. Like, hey man, we used to be neighbors for like over a year, I think. He looks at Keelan, looks at me, says nothing, doesn't even acknowledge that we were neighbors for a year. He just goes...
Does he remember you?
Absolutely clocks me. I see the recognition in his face. Keelan's also told him that he used to work there, so he knows, right? Also, you can't mistake me. Like, I'm someone this
You're
tall.
unique looking.
Yeah, you'd know me, right? So he just doesn't say hello. He just goes, right, so do you want the Panasonic or the Sony? And Keelan goes, "Oh, maybe the Sony?" And he goes, "Right." And then he just plugs it in, goes, "Works, doesn't it?" And then Keelan goes, "Yep." He goes, "All right, you want that one?" Keelan goes, "Yep." And then he goes to pick it up, and in front of us, literally, he farts. Really loud. He just goes, he farts in front of both of us.
That guy must actually have bowel problems.
And
used to
and
fart
no
all the
reaction.
time.
I don't know. I don't think he even knew he farted.
That's what I was going to say. That also seems like the kind of guy he is, where he just probably doesn't realize he farts.
Yeah, he farted in front of us, and he 100% farted, but
It's funny. Well, he's heard us do this podcast for like a whole year.
Yes.
He probably never checked it out.
Yeah.
Never did anything. Does he know that he's just like famous for farting and being rude on a podcast?
I don't know, but if he does know, he certainly wouldn't give a fuck.
There's also something to mention about his pants being halfway down his ass.
Oh, yeah.
His ass was always out.
Yeah, his ass crack was out. So I think that by the way, from him bending down, his pants being halfway down his ass, and him farting, that thing shot straight up into the
Did
roof.
he not even say sorry?
No, he had no reaction, right? To the point
Did
where...
you both laugh?
No. So I start pissing myself, but I hold it in. I manage not to die laughing because I don't want this guy to start swearing at Keelan. I want him to get his shit TV that he's gonna be landfill in 2 months. I want him to. Yeah, hasn't even unloaded
Did
it.
you go there wearing that shirt? That
Yeah, I was fucking wearing.
you were
this.
wearing a jumper that says
And then-
VHS is the future, and he would have been like, "Nah, pretty sure it's HDMI, man."
On top, I was wearing my 2001 Big Brother vest.
So
Oh my
embarrassing.
god!
Yeah, so he farts. I start
The
silently.
two saddest blokes in a room.
Hey.
He
Yeah,
farts.
I
I
agree.
start silently pissing myself. Because the guy didn't react at all or didn't act like he farted at all, Keelan didn't even notice, despite the fact it was loud as hell. And then we walk away, and then I start laughing. I go, "Did you hear him fart?" And Keelan goes, "Did he fart?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "He didn't act like he farted." I'm like, "No, he didn't at all," but he absolutely did.
Oh fuck! It makes it so much funnier when you know exactly who you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, people probably have their own mental image of what this bloke looks like in their brains because after all the years of describing him,
6'4".
but really knowing him, God, he's got a real shaggy haircut.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he cuts his own hair.
Imagine a really, really big homeless guy without a belt who farts heaps.
How's
Shirts 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, his shirts are always too small.
How's your brother? We went out and got breakfast with Keelan's brother, who flew up for the music festival just by coincidence.
Yeah,
Didn't
as a
actually
punter.
know Keelan was going.
And I didn't even know he was going. I just assumed because the
Literally,
Dune Rats were playing.
Keelan ran into him at Coles,
Yeah,
being like, "Oh, I ran into my brother at Coles."
This is how you know what type of person Keelan's brother is. He lives in Frankston and he flew to the Sunshine Coast because the Dune Rats were playing.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yep. And we were chatting to them today. I'm like, "Oh, well, we met a bloke named Mitch. But we don't remember if he was real or not. Like, he goes, I have no photos of him. Like, he goes, we got pretty fucked up. He was kind of our tour guide for the night.
Yeah.
And then in the morning we woke up and we're like, did we just make up Mitch? And then they told us more about this Mitch guy. What they realized when kind of unpacking the situation over breakfast was they hung out with a homeless guy that didn't have a ticket to the festival, snuck in 3 times because he got kicked out. He kept getting kicked out and kept jumping the fence to get back in.
Yeah.
He wasn't camping there.
No.
He didn't have a tent. He had his own swag that he hid in a bush.
Yeah, Keelan's brother tells us all of these things. Oh, he hitchhiked up
He
here.
goes, he didn't really have a phone. He goes, he didn't have any alcohol.
I bought him some food, and I go, so he was homeless, and he goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense actually.
It's made me feel so much better about my night.
Yeah.
Like I came away from this evening with a fucked elbow because I fell over a bunch of times.
When we were trying to cross the road,
I
Luke,
split my pants.
I'm so angry we didn't film this. We're trying to cross the road, and there was a little ditch that was like covered in grass, so you couldn't tell it was a ditch. It looked like a flat plane of grass. And Luke, I should have gone first.
Yeah.
It's probably my fuck up.
I ran
should have-
down it.
Luke runs thinking that it's like not a slope at all.
It was really long grass.
And then immediately face plants on an angle and disappears into the grass. Like, you disappeared. I thought, like, fuck, Luke was imaginary the whole time. He just disappeared.
Dude.
And then you were so pissed. You face plant, and then you just stayed there for like 40 seconds while your brain was like, hang on, what just happened to me? Like, you had to process that you were no longer upright.
Yeah.
When you're that drunk, your brain just accepts it.
I was like, oh, I'm here now. And then I woke up this morning, dude. I had bled all over my jumper.
Oh, no, not the gander.
The other one.
Oh,
that's why I'm wearing this one.
Oh,
it
the
has
other
blood
gander one.
all over it.
Man, lucky you got 2.
Yes. I'm very grateful I bought 2 because I'm going to have to throw that through a washing machine during the week. Yeah, and all my clothes were just fucked. They were all like had dirt on everything.
You turned into a toddler. I had to go, Luke, stop running. Luke, don't cross the road without me. Hold my hand.
And I was like yelling at you, fucking pussy, just cross.
Yeah, you were a
It's like
toddler who could swear.
4-lane freeway, and I'm just running across.
Yeah, trying to scale some bridge that if you fell off, you would fall like 10 feet down onto another highway and then get run over. Like that would have been some cartoon death.
I was messaging Meg the whole time, and she's just like, "Oh my god, fucking where's Lewis? Like, do not leave his sight."
Yes.
I have like a conversation with her. I'm sending her photos of us like walking along a freeway.
Yeah.
I was reading it back this morning. She's just like, "Just stay with Lewis." Like, she's so concerned about my well-being, and she's like, "Are you home now?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." I'm like, "We're in some guy's car," and she's like, "Who's the guy?" I was like, "I have no idea."
Yeah.
But it wasn't an Uber. It was like at the festival.
One of the roadies gave us a
right.
lift. Yeah. Because he was driving past us and Keelan just goes, "Oh, can you give us a lift?" And he's like, "What?" And then he goes, "Give us a lift." He's like, "Okay."
But
and his car was
that's how
full
he ended
of
up
shit.
getting lost because he just drove us to nowhere.
That's right. He drove us to nowhere. He's like, "I can give you a lift, but like, I'm not going to take you anywhere productive."
So it's my fault that we got lost.
It is your fault. It is.
Sorry.
But the amount of people.
I was being a mum all night. All right, this episode is sponsored by Nobby Underwear. Nobby.com.au. Use code SOUNDOFF for $5 off your first pair and free shipping. Best underwear in the game.
Are you a goddamn loser? Do you want to be a part of something? A part of a club? Join the Undie Club. You get $5 off.
They also service people who aren't losers. So actually, if you have money, they'll sell you underwear. It's really non-exclusionary, this club.
But we're part of the Undie Club. Get on board. They support the show, so support them. And also, they're a bunch of legends. We hung out with them all at the music festival. Were you filming all of that upside down?
He just,
right.
He just flipped it. That was
that
really
was
cool.
So cool.
Whoa, that was cool. Please don't drop that.
Go to nobby.com.au and sign up. They also have a bunch of clothes and stuff, which are great as well.
Yeah,
they don't just sell underwear.
We hung out with the founder all night, and he was a vibe.
He has a half pipe in his backyard, and he invited me over, and I said, "Mate, I can't skate a half pipe. I can't drop in." He goes, "Neither can I." So I was like, "Okay, well, we can sit there and look at it together." But they're ripper people, and they're just such a fun brand to be involved with, and they fly us up to do cool stuff like this, and gives us opportunities to sit in a park.
Most importantly, the shit they sell is incredible. So get yourself some Nobby underwear, men's and women's styles available. Really, really cool stuff. They support the show, so support the brands that help us do what we do. And that's the only reason we're here today.
Let's keep getting those suggestions for slogans sent in. Give your breast a rest.
Yes.
Was one of them.
Get a holder for your boulders.
Yep, keep them coming in. We do love rhyming segments here, despite you once saying we would never, ever have a rhyming segment on the show.
No, I didn't say that. I said coming up with a name for a segment that rhymes does not mean the segment will be good.
Yes.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
So, nobby.com.au, use code SOUNDOFF, $5 off, and free shipping your first pair. Thank you, Nobby. Back to the show.
The amount of people RSVPing in person at the festival, as you said before, was truly incredible. Like, Gympie, it's quiet now, and looking around, it's a place where people come to die and relax, but mainly to die. And in 1 year, just think about it. It's going to be flourishing.
It's going to be
There'll be
huge.
a buzz in the air.
Absolutely.
You know, like we were thinking about it this morning, we're going to be famous in Gympie for one weekend because 5% of the town will be there for us.
And the next day they will also have nothing to do.
So
we're all going to be
at the
wandering
local
around.
cafe. Like I will see it at the gun store. at the Coles buying bread.
Yeah.
We'll be shooting John Howard.
We might play
perhaps.
a few holes of golf down at the local golf course.
Yeah.
It's one of the only other things to do. We might see a wedding.
Yep.
You know, with you as well. Might do a poo in the public toilets.
Yeah.
And piss off a guy who needs to go.
Do feel like we've already done about 30% of the things.
Oh yeah, and after this podcast, we're going to do the other 70. Absolutely. There's only 2 more things to do.
Yeah, great. We'll knock those out real quick.
But yeah, we will be like, we're going to feel like Justin Bieber in Gympie because the town's population is going to balloon. You know what is pretty amusing about this is like, say for like the Pineapple Festival that we went to, 15,000 people converge right on this town. The government would know about it. The local council would know about it. Like they set up traffic cones. They did all of this stuff to make sure that it didn't disrupt the locals that live there.
Would have cost $1 million to put on yesterday.
We're just going to, no announcement, no forewarning,
just inviting.
Send over 1,000 people at Gympie with no preparation. They're literally going to get invaded. It's going to be a blitzkrieg.
What about if they run out of bread?
It could happen.
Shit.
It could absolutely happen. I think the only thing that we're going to do to make sure the town is prepared is try and get a discount code with one of the local caravan parks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and it'll just be like, use our code, get 5% off. It'll be a tent city. I mean, people might have to start camping in the park.
Reserve your spots now.
Well, dude, I truly don't think that... Oh, that's the thing. We do need to give people a date. We're still trying to get a hold of this venue. We have it penciled in, but they can't really confirm it because this theatre we want to do is still under renovations.
Yes.
So people keep asking us, like,
they decided to renovate it when they heard about the event because it was originally a 1,000-seater. They're turning it into a 50,000-seat stadium.
Well, they have to build a stadium.
Yeah.
There may be more than 1,000 people that come. Honestly, at this rate, I reckon 200 people have RSVP'd in person.
Yes, and that's like them by themselves, and most of them have said, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring a car of people."
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? Everyone I've told about it who doesn't even listen to the show, like Keelan's brother this morning was like, "So why are you guys going to Gympie today?" We're like, "Oh, because we're recording an episode. It's a long story," and we told him about Gympfest. He had never heard of this idea, and then he turns around to his mate, he goes, "Holy fuck, we should go. That sounds all right."
Yeah.
Like, it's just a thing that sounds like a fun weekend.
I think that depending on how, because our show's only going to grow as well. We have a whole year, right? Depending on how many people we think are going to turn up.
It might be an actual festival now.
Yeah,
we might have to do a week-long run.
We might have to come up with more activities than just doing the show live. There might have to be actual things that we do. Like there was a food truck at the festival. There was, we might need face painting. Yep. We could do a gun rental, have a shootout. There's lots of things to do.
We could do a bake-off.
Yeah, poo comp.
Great. Well, it's going to be good.
It is going to be.
Are you going to come to Gimp Fest, Mr. Greentex?
Yep. He's coming. Absolutely. He's right. Bring all your friends. It's going to be huge. I think what we can finish off here with. How long have we been going for? 25 minutes.
Mate, we've got plenty of time.
We've got plenty of time. Great. Well, then I think what it's time to discuss now is something that we discovered accidentally. Every time we end up on tour, you and me especially, but when the three of us are together with not much else to do, some kind of shit meme chemistry ends up happening, and we create some magic. And we have concocted something that has an unprecedented success rate with strangers.
Before this morning, it was at a 100% hit rate until one person did try and hit you in the face for doing it.
Yes.
But before that, it was getting laughs out of everyone.
And we're not really sure if this is a Sunshine Coast thing. Maybe the temperament is different. So I highly encourage you to test this one out and get back to us with your results. What's your hit rate? How many people laugh? But also how many people do it back? Because everyone laughs, most do it back. Yeah. It's a real simple meme. Keelan, can you please demonstrate? You're walking past some strangers and then you just go, hello, hello, hello. That's it.
See?
Hello, hello. 100% hit rate.
See,
that's all you need to do. Every single person who hears this, when you do this, when you walk past them, laughs, and most of them also go, hello.
Yes.
It is
an
shocking.
old lady this morning panicked. you went, hello. And then I think she thought you were mocking her because she was an old lady, and that's also how old ladies kind of talk.
Maybe.
So, but she panicked and she went, oh, hello.
And it was how she talked. And we discovered the hit rate where we were in the airport, and I think we got
People
separated.
Pissing themselves.
We came back up to each other. I just busted out a hello, and every single person in the little servo in the airport laughed.
Yeah.
Every single one, and we were like, that was weird. Why did everyone laugh?
Then we were walking into the music festival, and at all the security checkpoints we get through, like we'd show our pass, and there was like hello, and then. Everyone was like, oh, hello. Like, either they laugh or they reciprocate it. And we do a lot of shit stuff. There was my name, Jeff. There was just egg. We'd scream egg. We scream Meg. Like, we scream things all the time. But people usually just look at us like we're annoying.
Yes.
They just go,
like, we
shut
amuse ourselves, but rarely does anyone else join in. This is the first shit meme that I don't even feel comfortable calling it a shit meme. I think it's a golden meme.
It's too good.
It is the one golden meme we've ever come up with where you can say it to a stranger and every single person except for one of them will do it back. That one guy may try and fight you, which did happen this morning before we left.
We should say, though, I, on Friday, was trying so hard to make this a thing, but both of you weren't reciprocating it. You were hating it. You were shooting it down. You hated it so much.
Yeah. I was one of the guys who wanted to fight you as well.
Until I did it at the airport
because
and
you
got
were
a couple laughs.
on the plane. He was on the plane going, like, hello. And like, I don't know if you've ever been on a plane before, but it's like tight and people keep to themselves. Everyone's got headphones in. And imagine if your mate's just screaming.
Speaking of Keelan's plane etiquette, this is what Keelan did at the start
No, we already
of our
talked
flight.
about this.
Did we?
On the music festival episode.
I can't remember. I don't know. Well, just Keelan...
Mate, I was drunk and I'm pretty sure I remember this. Maybe I made
well,
this
he's
up.
airdropping shirtless photos of people to everyone on the plane. and that wouldn't be an issue if airdrop said next to the person's name their age. 100% a few 15-year-olds got that photo. Absolutely.
Today,
from Keelan.
Keelan has tried to airdrop me Big Bird porn 4 times. That's a massive HR issue.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Big Bird.
We highly encourage everyone listening to this show is just try on the hello. Give it a go. The pitch is very important. It needs to be a hello.
Yep.
And you need to look at people with a smile. Don't scare people, but just hit them with a hello.
Try it out on this bin chicken here. It's
hello.
Okay.
Chickens don't like
Chickens
it.
don't like it.
But humans do.
Yeah, so this bloke...
Other than the one jogger.
There's this guy walking past, and look, you guys were being rude.
What?
No, we were saying hello to a man in a friendly way.
No, you were doing it to everyone. So you were like, hello, because it was a busy footpath. And then...
With a 100% hit rate, though.
Yes, people were reciprocating it, having a giggle. Even the cops had a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah.
He helloed a cop.
Yep.
Oh,
no.
You just crashed your thing.
Keelan's officially crashed the drone. Were you filming then?
Did you just crash it?
On purpose.
What do you mean on purpose? It's fucking $900, dude.
Yeah, but this man doesn't give a fuck about money.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
This bloke... so Lewis goes, hello, and Kelly goes, hello. And this guy goes, what?
No, he's jogging right from behind us, and as he passes us, we go hello, and then he while jogging.
It's such a stupid thing to get mad about it.
Yeah.
It's so silly. Like, it's not like you're being like, oi mate, and he'll be like, yeah, what?
Yeah.
You were like, hello, and he was like,
He continues to jog, but he jogs. I've never seen this before. He jogs while looking backwards at us, like acting tough, and then we just start laughing because
At him.
it's such a funny
he
thing
has
to
like
get angry
back
at.
tattoos, and he's like got a cap backwards.
Real
He looks
short.
He looks like a real short man syndrome bachelor contestant type vibe. No, more Love Island.
Yeah.
He
Love
real
Island,
trashy
but
looking.
rejected from Love Island because he was too short, and they already had a really short guy.
Yeah.
Because there's only ever one, right? And then we just find that so fucking funny that we just start laughing. And then he stops and pretends he's stopping to have a drink of water, but he was really like, I have to say something. And he goes, don't be a prick. And we go, we're just saying hello. And he goes, nah, I'm not an idiot. I was like, are ya?
You sure, man? You just tried to fight someone at 11 a.m.
Yeah, 11 a.m. on your beach run, you tried to have a fight with 3 other guys twice your size because one of them went, hello. I think you're an idiot, bro.
I'm not stupid. Like, mate, that's the stupidest shit I've seen. And I bled all over myself last night.
Man, what would he? I want to know like what he thought we were doing in his head. Like did he think that
we were
thought,
mocking him?
Yeah.
Like, and because it was an insecure man. Like,
Yeah.
he just thought maybe like in his brain he concocted that hello was like, do they just call me short? Like, what a
No, but
strange
now
person.
I am. What a legend.
Yeah,
What a
and then
king.
very loudly as he's running away, Keelan goes, "Oh, who cares? He runs like a girl." And then the guy just like turns around and keeps running.
Yeah, like a girl.
He
It was
did
very
though.
good.
He had a very petite, feminine run.
Maybe he knew that, and that's why he was self-conscious. Like he thought we were calling
he
him
was
a
like,
woman. Hello. His run was the physical embodiment of a hello.
Talk about that really drunk girl last night and my fake lighter.
Oh yeah, so this was a good one. Also, there was an obscenely drunk woman that was being looked after by her friends, and we were hanging out in the VIP. She was there for some reason, and she was really drunk, and she had a cigarette, and she was just asking everyone for a lighter. No one had a lighter, and then Keelan goes, "Oh, I've got one," and she goes, "Do you?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's right here," and shows her just his thumb, and she goes, "Oh, you're a lifesaver." and then like Keelan didn't like hide it from her. He goes, "Yeah, I have one. Here's my thumb." She goes, "Oh, lifesaver. Thank you so much." And then cups her hand around his thumb. Keelan is like pissing himself in her face. I'm dying. And she's just really waiting for his cigarette, sucking on the cigarette, waiting for it to light. And then after 15 seconds, Keelan just had to show her some mercy and go, "Hey, that's actually just my thumb."
Way rude as shit when we were watching Peking Duck. I don't think you missed this one.
Huh?
A girl came up to us in the crowd asking for a lighter. He did the same shit. He goes, "Yeah, I've got a lighter." And then just
Gave her the finger.
I do that all day.
Yeah, Keelan was a bit of a menace, but also a good bloke. In like what I'm looking after you because you kept bumping into everyone, so I'm trying to keep you near me so
No,
you don't
moshing.
start
I
a
was
fight
moshing.
accidentally.
I was moshing.
You weren't moshing, you were stumbling.
nah, the guys were fans.
Yes,
who I was dancing
yes,
with.
but if they weren't fans, they would have been very angry
That's fine.
because you kept.
Mate, it was a bloody honour that they got to dance with me and prop me up.
It looked like an
during
annoyance to
Take
me.
Over.
So you're doing that, and then Keelan's less drunk, so I'm not too worried about him. But then I just look back at Keelan, and there's just some guy on Keelan's shoulders, and I'm like, "Hey, who is that guy?" And Keelan's like, "I've got no idea." And then for 3 songs, he has just this stranger on his shoulders, a
I'm
man.
dancing. I'm like that as well. He was great. He was a listener of the show.
Yeah, we did meet a lot of listeners. It's very cool. The show is growing. It's
Yeah.
cool to see. We love meeting you guys.
It's so
Thanks to
fun.
everyone who came up and said hi.
And because everyone knows I'm such a piece of shit, like people just offer me drugs and stuff. They
Yeah.
like I don't do drugs. I just drink. Like,
yes.
And then, but people, I'm like, "Oh no, it's fine, mate. Don't worry, mate." But I was so drunk that I was like, "Mate, more for you,"
Yeah.
And I was like really encouraging. Oh my god, Keelan's scared by the swan.
The swan, it's just investigating. If you start acting weird, it's going to attack.
They scare me though.
Hello, Mr.
No,
Swan.
it will attack you.
No, it won't. Hello, Mr. Swan.
Oh my god.
So,
This turned into National Geographic. Real quick.
absolutely. So, I think it was a very productive trip. We also had Tom Armstrong on the show. Make sure you check out his guest episode.
Yeah,
I
if
think
you
that's
missed
out already.
On the festival episodes last week, they were definitely so much fun. Definitely a looser vibe, especially
Yes.
the Thursdays episode. We would recommend. It's just one of those things where like it is so different doing a show. Like, even now, like when there's so many distractions around, like when you're
Yeah.
in your own little studio, there's
Yeah.
no other distractions in the world. Like we never have to worry about wandering swans
Yeah.
from our studio. It is a different experience doing outdoor on the road podcasting.
Yes, yeah. So we're really grateful to Nobby. Make sure you support the sponsor. They've bring good vibes to the show,
Yep.
and we really want to do more out of studio stuff.
Let us know if
when
you like
we can. Yeah, and let us know if you like it, what we can do better, and we're always listening to feedback because we think it's so much fun. Even if it's a little bit less professional than the regular show, we think it's a nice little break and a nice little vibe. Like not very often will you have swans join us on the show. That is incredible stuff. So,
Hello.
definitely go out
An
there.
interview.
We want you guys to perform some market research on the Hello meme. Does it work wherever you are?
Yep, and-
International listeners, give it a spin. Let us know.
Keep getting the word of mouth out about
Gympie
Gympie
2022.
Gympie. I was going to say the Gympie Festival, but like just Because I'm looking around, there's a lot of open space here. I feel like we could probably get 5,000. Looking at... No, I didn't realize how big the town was.
Is that all?
Well, yeah, on the first show.
Relax, Keelan. It's a fucking bird. It's
Keelan
not going to kill you. It's just curious.
He's so
He's
easily
so
scared.
Yeah, he really is. All right, well, we're going to wrap this episode up before this swan kills us. Look, it's harmless. I'll say hello. Hello. Hello, Mr. Swan.
He's going to turn around and...
See?
Oh, it said hello back.
Hello. See, he's friendly. He's freaking out. Look at him. I think he's friendly. I don't know about that. You don't think so?
He kind of looks like you.
A little bit.
He has a very long neck.
No touching?
No touching. No. All right, guys, you're hearing, I mean, this is pretty bad for audio listeners, but Lewis is just trying to touch us.
Just trying to make friends.
It. All right, guys, that is the end. Thank you for tuning in. And, I mean, I feel like we didn't really... Now is the part where we actually need to go around and location scout.
Yeah, so
like
what
where
we're going to do
have
now,
breakfast.
which we'll probably report back to in next episode is going to be in studio, I believe, or a guest. We're not too sure, but it should be back in studio. So whenever we talk to you next, we will have scouted locations in Gympie. We're going to get a full report to you on what locations, what activities, what there is to enjoy.
We recommend the gun shop.
Yeah.
But... Other than that, we don't really know a lot about the town, so we're going to go do that now and just get all gimped up.
Yeah, let's go gimps.
Fully gimped.
All right.
Because I feel like it'd be rude as hosts if we didn't have like top 10 things to do list.
Yeah, we're going to come back with a top 10
thousands
list.
of people.
Absolutely. All right, well, RIP Gympfest 2021, RSVP Gympfest 2022.
Hello! Goodbye!